What you got there then?
Just paper, new free paper, look. It says, new day. But strangely enough, the new day is the same as the next day. Oh dear.
New day?
Yeah, anything in yours?
Yeah, another new day. It's got something on the front. Right, stolen childhood. I want to talk about that. Do you know there's an independent inquiry led by a woman just recently in England about all the so-called really bad things that have been done to children just recently, and other people since the 1950s as well, because it's been going on for the longest period. Anybody heard any news? Anybody been arrested? Anybody been questioned?
No, they don't do that. They let them off usually, especially if they've got dementia. They let them off then.
Well, have you heard this? SS medic goes on trial today. The trial of former Nazi SS medic Hubert Zafke, 95, who was on duty at Auschwitz when teenage diarist Anne Frank arrived there, begins today.
So...
The dementia sufferer... Hold on! Dementia?
Well, if he's got dementia, he doesn't get charged. It happened with Granna. He had dementia and then he disappeared to his desert island somewhere and he doesn't get charged. So why are they charging him?
Neville Granver.
Greville
Janner. Greville Janner. Well, somebody actually told me that he was seen in a coffee shop in the British Virgin Islands with Leon Britton having a cup of coffee the other day.
I won't be surprised.
Aren't they supposed to be both dead?
Yeah, well, what a shock, them lying to us again.
Well, anyway, it says the dementia sufferer, but yeah, apparently will be appearing in court in Nuremberg near Berlin, charged with complicity in the murders of 3,681 people. I thought they don't try people with dementia.
No, that's only if it's to do with children. And you're a member of the mind controllers, or have been.
Well, who was it who was on TV? I heard about this with Schofield, and Schofield says, what are you going to do about all these horrible, nasty people that have done these awful things to children, including sexual rape them?
Oh, it was the David the Cameron.
Now, if anybody's of nervous disposition,
yes,
right, turn away now, because you're not going to like this. Are you ready? Can I scare you?
It's, I can see it already. It's horrible. I'm looking away.
It's pretty awful.
Oh.
I think the artist taxi driver called this the man with a face with looks like a thin slice of ham. Here you go. If you're a nervous disposition, turn away now. Listen, I don't want this to be a witch hunt for gay people.
Just slightly off track. Look, you can see what they've done here. See, this was quite clearly flat, and they've made it bend to look like it's round.
That's Photoshop. Here, if you're of nervous disposition, of a nervous disposition, turn away now.
Ugh, terrifying.
Don't want this to be a witch hunt for gay people! Oh, what a fantastic man! To one of the greatest men on the planet!
Well, if you can't it great by being a great weapons salesman, yeah, quite correct. Looking after other people, no, sadly he falls way short.
Brimstone missiles, anybody? 175,000 quid each. Need any of them? Please contact this man at General Dynamics in Coventry. So, our friend who used to be a DJ, has anybody been arrested that did horrible, nasty things to him yet as well?
No.
Right, mate. That's a shame, isn't it? And how many millions is it costing?
More than it's worth. More than it's worth.
Isn't the Chilcot inquiry still going on as well?
It might as well be. I don't know if it is or not. Well, it's ridiculous. The amount of money that they think they can waste is beyond belief.
Again, this is a third warning. If you're of a nervous disposition, shall we?
Oh, that's even eviler than the evil one that is.
We're in Asda car park. We just found all these on the bin.
Oh no, that one's free anyway.
That one's free. We found this one on top of the bin. I think it's probably because it's got this picture on. Now again, if you get upset by images of previous politicians who tell you lies like they want to find weapons of mass destruction when they're actually working for the weapons manufacturers of mass destruction.
Just call it how it is. He's a liar.
You ready? Anybody that's of nervous disposition, look away now.
So when's he going to get arrested then and charged and
Never.
whatever? Oh, he'll be off in the Virgin Islands with the rest of them, won't he?
Yeah, he'll probably die like Jana and Britain, and yeah, you'll probably see him at the local coffee shop in the British Virgin Islands. Anyway, apparently 6 explodes Blair's lethal lies. And you know what one of his lethal lies was?
Go on.
He didn't order enough kit for the military men and women
I remember
who were coerced into going murdering other men, women and children in the Middle East.
I remember that,
gold,
where some of the soldiers actually got shot because they didn't have the bulletproof jackets on because they didn't order them bulletproof jackets.
He's actually promoting a book, because it says the devastating book reveals the repeatedly deceived cabinet.
So this man's a deceiver then? We know a deceiver, don't we? There are many deceivers.
We know lots of deceivers. So there you go, in one little video for a few minutes. 2 people who've been Prime Ministers. One apparently still is, but we realise these actual men work for weapons manufacturers. So somebody says to us the other day, well, what are you going to do about this? We can't do anything because apparently we've democratically voted them in.
Yeah,
I should have said, did you want a big laugh? Because apparently we've democratically voted them in, but as my friend here will tell you, that they...
it was fixed.
Yeah, it's always fixed. Even the local...
yeah.
How did I describe them this morning? Malfeasant despots have fixed it for themselves as well.
Yes.
Because they seem to have carte blanche, which means they've given themselves freedom to do whatever. Look after the public purse. Are you having a joke?
Yeah, they're looking after it all right.
For them and their mates. Right. Council tax to go up 4%.
Ah, well, someone's got to pay for Broadmarsh, you know, because go do some shopping. Don't worry about the homeless or the starving. We're going to spend $250 million on a shopping centre.
About the NHS, that could do with...
Oh, by the way, we're 70 million over budget, so we're going to have to cut essential services, but we're spending 250 million on a shopping centre.
And this is our local malfeasant despots, who, I say, that seem to have given themselves carte blanche to do... have the freedom to do whatever they like. But there's something we've not mentioned before, and I'm surprised nobody's questioned the local, who I said before, about this. You say we know that they claim to be 70 million short again this year. Although last year, do you know how much they spent on the privately owned tram system in our local area, which is owned by a private company, French company, called Tramlink? Do you know how much they gave them to build all their new lines?
Well, if they sold
£1 million each
if they sold it, they won't have given them anything, will they? Because, you know, a sensible guy that puts this deal together says, all right, if you're buying this for X amount of money, we're not going to do anything more than that, because obviously that will cost us money and we've already sold it. So
exactly, if I'd sold it to you,
yeah,
you wouldn't expect me and the council taxpayers and the so-called public to pay for your new trams and your new lines that go off in every direction.
That would simply just not be fair.
Well, the council said that it in its Robin the Hood arrow, that do you know how much they gave Tramlink? Over 700 million. That's close to $1 billion, right, to a private company to build its brand new lines and give it brand new trams. And you're £70 million short this year, are you? You know what we're talking about, because we know you watch our videos. Right, and we know that you say to us that we have our own opinion, but you notice we've complied. We haven't used the words that you've told us not to use.
But they're supposed to be looking after the person, not using it as their own personal charge card, which is what they seem to have done.
Nearly $1 billion to a privately owned tram company. And why can't Tramlink pay for it themselves?
Look at the train station. They spent 60 million on that. And it's still not worked. It's still got scaffold around it because they couldn't spend the 60 million properly.
Station
Wow.
Street, where Zero's Barbers is, that's costing them £1.5 million. And it's been out about 8 months now. They could have done it in a week. A couple of weeks, a month, give them at least 2 months.
Well,
It's going up for a year.
If they'd not done that, because they didn't get permission for it either, by the way, if they'd not done that, they'd only be 68.5 million short.
So let me just get this right again. Our local servitude, we call them different names. The malfeasant despots, as I've called them today. They're spending billions and then asking us
To forfeit, to pay for it.
To pay for some more.
Yeah. Well, that's perfect.
But they've got no money for to repair the roads.
Schools, NHS, police,
local surgeries.
firemen, ambulance. No, we can't afford them. We need a bigger shopping centre.
Are your local parasitical mafia this professional at removing your money from you? What else have they been spending on? Oh, do you know the local surgeries, the general practices, because they are practicing. Apparently they sell all the surgeries, the doctor's surgeries every year.
For instance,
and then double the rent.
say something like Mary Potter Centre.
Yeah, there was a woman from the council telling us about that one day when she was having a haircut. She says that every year that place is sold, it's got various practices in, I think. And yeah, it's sold and then they double the rent. It's just not fair, is it?
Well, it's interesting really, because what they should do is, I mean, we say that they're all in it together, and they are all at the top, but all those that are working underneath the executive branch, for instance, that most of them are doing a good job, and they're as equally as disgusted as we are. But until they come out and start blowing the whistle on, because they all know the corruption that's going off at that place, and until they come out and start letting little information sneak out about the corruption that's going off there, they're going to continue to get away with it. I mean, I know that one of them asked a communist protection to break the law. I know that for a fact.
All drive up on the paved area and block them off. Anyway, apparently we voted for this, and our local wonderful, fantastic servants.
Our servants, aren't they?
Yeah.
Our servants. So they're our servants, not the other way around. Because it's certainly from where I'm sitting, it would seem to be the opposite way around. They seem to be portraying themselves as the masters and us as the servants. You will pay 4% extra tax this year.
What happens if I don't?
Well, we'll issue our own liability orders.
Hire the court for the day.
Hire the court for the day, issue our own liability orders, send out the fake police,
papers.
And eventually, if we can get away with it, because we've been getting away with it so far, we'll lock you up.
So, if you're a representative for the local
criminal cabal,
yeah, and I was to ask you a question behind closed doors, it could go something a little bit like this, wouldn't it? We better not tell the public, or the men and women of the local area, that we're supposed to be looking after how many billions we've got in our offshore bank accounts and Swiss accounts.
We're saving that up for a rainy day. Oh, by the way,
about a new tramway to Derby.
Oh, no problem at all.
It's going to cost about 3 billion. Well, we can get it for 1 billion. We'll charge them 3 billion.
Just a drop in the ocean to the money we've got in our offshore bank accounts.
What happens if they ask, why are you giving money to private corporations?
We'll just do what we always do. We'll lie and say it's for the benefit of everyone, and then we'll sell it off, and we won't let them have any of the money.
But all the trams and the buses, you should be for free then, because they've paid for it.
We paid for it.
But we're the local servitude.
Yes, exactly. We're the servants to the high mighty masters that think they are.
We're only servants to the employees and supporters of us.
Yes.
Anyway, back to something completely different. Wouldn't you consider that?
Yeah.
Enough said. What else have they spent money on? Big investment in new facilities. 600,000 to revive city play parks.
Well, the park should be up to scratch anyway. The fact that they've let them deteriorate, it means it's their fault. But hey, there's another 500,000. We've got it down to 68 million now, shortfall from 70. We're doing well, and we've just done that in a few minutes.
Shut up, old man, and fill out your expenses form. Otherwise, you're...
Debt Free TV, in association with GetOutOfDebtFree.org.